Hello and welcome to the history of Stargate Atlantis. Today we're going to be covering the Ancient Technology Activation Gene, and here we go. The Ancient Technology Activation Gene, or ATA gene for short, is a specific gene expression present within the DNA of the ancients that was used as a sort of genetic key, so only their kind can operate their technology. According to Dr. Carson Beckett, who discovered its existence, the ATA gene is always on, instructing various cells in the body to produce a series of proteins and enzymes that interact with the skin, the nervous system, and the brain, allowing gene carriers to operate ancient technology by thought alone. The gene itself may be artificial in origin, created by an early generation of ancients and passed down ever since. As the gene was introduced into the human population through interbreeding with the ancients, a small percentage of humans from Earth already have this gene. However, since nearly 10,000 years have gone by since the ancients ascended, the gene is exceedingly rare amongst humans, and rarer still for those who possess it to have much proficiency in its use. The same is true of some humans born in the Pegasus galaxy. Starting in 2004, the Atlantis expedition team began to employ in vitro retroviro gene therapy to artificially implant the gene in humans. However, only 47 to 48% of those who undergo this procedure are rewarded with the ATA gene, and even then it is not always permanent. The first one inoculated was Dr. Rodney McKay, on whom the treatment was successful. It has since allowed him to further his research on ancient technology and fly ancient ships. It is later suggested that the proficiency of the gene wielder doesn't have to do with the strength of their gene, but rather their ability to let go in the interface. John Shepard is extremely good at this, hence his greater use of the gene, while he suggests that Jack O'Neill lacks the ability to let it go so much, resulting in the lesser use of the gene. Much of the ancient technology requires the gene in order to use some or all of its functionality. The technology possesses sensors which can detect the gene in any human, usually through physical contact. However, not all ancient technology uses it in the same way. Certain technology only needs to be activated by someone possessing the gene, after which they remain active and usable by anyone, gene carrier or not. An example of this would be the long-range communication stones. Other technologies require constant mental input from the user, and thus the gene is necessary for this technology to be used at all. Control chairs and puddle jumpers, for example, use a neural interface that necessitates the presence of the gene. Ancient technology which uses this gene is often very sensitive to mental stimulus. For ancients, this is not a problem, but for humans, their lack of mental discipline combined with the limited understanding of the ancient technology can result in negative reactions. When Dr. Rodney McKay tested an ancient personal shield emitter, he was unable to remove it due to his subconscious fear of danger, which the shield interpreted as a desire for it to stay active. The shield prevented him from eating or drinking, as it is a full-body shield. Dr. Elizabeth Weir tricked McKay into deactivating it by presenting a scenario in which the shield's continued presence would put him in danger. Similarly, Dr. Carson Beckett accidentally fired a drone weapon when he was pressured into sitting into a control chair by McKay, despite being afraid of it, nearly shooting down a nearby helicopter. Hey, thank you for watching the history of Stargate Atlantis.